Fox and the Grapes. Once upon a time, in a lush vineyard nestled between rolling hills, there lived a clever and hungry fox named Felix. Felix was renowned throughout the forest for his sly ways and cunning tactics. His reputation had earned him both admiration and disdain from the other forest creatures, who were often the unwitting victims of his devious schemes. One warm summer afternoon, while wandering through the countryside, Felix happened upon a bountiful grapevine, heavy with clusters of plump grapes. The vine's aroma wafted through the air, and the sight of those juicy orbs hung tantalizingly just out of reach made his mouth water. The fox, with a determined gleam in his eye, leaped and stretched, trying desperately to snatch those delicious grapes. His sharp claws reached out, but alas, the grapes remained just beyond his grasp. Frustration crept over Felix as he tried repeatedly, each attempt more fervent than the last. With renewed vigor, Felix leaped once more, this time with all his might. His body arched, and his heart raced as he reached out with every ounce of his strength. Panting and drenched in sweat, under the hot sun he felt a profound sense of frustration and failure. Several more attempts yielded the same results, leaving Felix defeated. Exhausted and dejected, he slumped beneath the grapevine, his head hanging low. The vine's leaves provided a meager shade. As the fox rested in the shade, it tried to console itself. "Those grapes must be sour," the fox said with a forced grin. "I'm sure they wouldn't have been as sweet as I imagined." His words were meant to protect his pride, to save face, but deep down, he knew they were empty excuses. Yet, Felix couldn't bear the thought of admitting his failure. He couldn't bear the thought of not getting what he wanted. With one last longing look at the grapes, he turned away from the vineyard and said, "The grapes are sure." He slinked off into the forest, his stomach empty and his pride wounded. The moral of this story is clear. Just like the fox, sometimes it's better to accept our limitations and move on, rather than allowing our desires to turn into bitterness. The fox and the grapes served as a reminder that sour grapes are often a defense mechanism for our unmet desires. Felix's failure to acquire the grapes was not a reflection of their quality, but a testament to his own limitations and his inability to accept them. In the end, Felix's pride and stubbornness led him to belittle what he couldn't attain. It's a lesson that teaches us to acknowledge our shortcomings, learn from our failures,